Hi. Hello out there in the YouTube world of excitement. I just wanted to do this video about the New World Order, okay? Because not to sound too like show-offing, but or too showy, but I've seen my fair share of New World Order crap, okay? And there's a lot of information out there, and I kind of wanted to just boil it down in a nutshell for a lot of people out there who are into that kind of thing but have maybe only seen, like, maybe the odd, like, episode of Ancient Aliens, or like some kind of whistleblower testimony about the CIA, or any of that kind of thing. You might have just seen this couple of videos, and you know that there's something deeper to it, but at the same time you're kind of like, everybody has their modern day life to go about, and it takes time to research crap. So unless you have a really strong driving force in you that's going to make you want to do that, it's not really going to just fall in your lap, such as, like, material on the television or something like that. It's not just going to be provided to you. And I'll get to that later. But yeah, so the New World Order, or the NWO, as it's often just summarized in. It's important to look at this kind of material. I find, like, for myself anyway, it makes the most sense to think of things in a timeline, okay? Because, the past heavily has affected our present, just as much as what we do in the present right freaking now is going to affect the future, okay? And, because it was the present to them back then, they have affected our present, okay? I'm simplifying a lot of stuff, and in this video, I do want to let all you people know out there that I'm not going to be, I'm going to really try not to name names, and I'm not going to name affiliations. A lot of that stuff, I'll simply say corporations or organizations. And if you've seen any videos about this, then you can kind of fill those in yourself, just to get a broader perspective. Because I personally, all this stuff that I've learned about, obviously almost all of our knowledge that is, like, external, besides, tactile, what we've learned, to how we physically move around since we were a baby when we learned to walk, everything that's, like, in a textbook, or even online, all of this stuff is externally learned, and we have our free will to choose what we are exposed to, right? But it's just kind of unfair in our modern world, which has kind of been taken over from people of the past, who I said before have ancient roots. So it's heavily rooted in modern times and has a strong effect on modern times. And by strong effect, I mean that it actually, people's thought, like, I don't want to go too, like, Matrix sounding, but the movie The Matrix, well, it's like a web, an interconnected web, and it's almost like, because they basically control a lot of the media, like, in the media you could break that down into, like, all the magazines, the newspapers, like television, even just, like, kind of word of mouth, because when people watch television, television dictates, or is supposed to, like, if you were watching a comedy or something, I don't know, like Seinfeld or something, okay? It's supposed to dictate or kind of represent, they're acting about our modern times, or the times at that time, right? So, but the thing is that because most people are just sitting at home after work watching this crap, they think, watching this material, that, and it's not really their fault, it's just that, it's just as it has the same response as if they were talking to an individual in real life, just like right now. It's like watching television, okay? Now, and it has the same effect that even though I'm a I'm two-dimensional image on your screen, it has the same effect in your brain as if you're talking to a human being, okay? Now, things like catchphrases or belief patterns, things like that can be heavily ingrained in people if they're watching the same crap all the time, okay? So going back into the history, I like to think of things in kind of, I know this is going to sound corny, but have you ever played the game Sims, SimCity and all that? You get to kind of create a world, okay? And personally, I'm not into Sims at all. I really like RPG games. Totally different topic. But Sims is about, you have to create a world from scratch. And like you can make the buildings, and a lot of these corporations or organizations have all the money, okay? And even like the ability to just create money out of fucking thin air. And it's not fair, because that's kind of, in our world that's supposed to be balanced, the Statue of Liberty and all that, and they're like, yeah, the world is free. It's actually quite unbalanced, because some people are like just profiting day after day, and like they don't even like work, okay? So they're basically just making money off of the SimCity that they created a long time ago. Now, there's few and far between, okay? And by that I mean that there's some who obviously would be a lot more involved in this. Like you could think of Venn diagrams where there's a bunch of circles overlapping each other. Now, obviously depending on the individual, a lot of time has passed since like 1913, and that's when there was the Federal Reserve Act, which was basically when the government gave its control to create money over to a private organization. Why? I don't know. You tell me, okay? I'll give you a hint. But it's just ridiculous that the lengths that some of these people will go through. And if any of them out there are kind of watching this as like the Matrix people, then I really want them to look inside their soul, inside their heart, because they should feel immensely guilty and shameful for things that have been committed in the past and that I think are still going on to this day, okay? It's just that it's become a lot more, I don't know, swept under the rug, so to say, or, masked. But just to throw something out that you could look up and research and you'd find information a lot about is MK Ultra. That was done by the CIA in like the 50s and the 60s. It was done for like 20, almost 30 years before it was shut down. And a lot of bad shit went on. And our government has allowed that to happen. It stopped, but it was allowed to happen. And, it just makes you really question the security of how the world really is, and just, all that jazz. But I don't want to say that all corporations and organizations are evil, because like I said, there's few and far between, because it depends on the history of each individual's family, the bloodlines, and money, the organizations and who it was passed down to, and who was kept control of these kind of things. Yeah, I'm going on almost 10 minutes now, so I'll cut it now, just so I don't want it to be too long. But if you like this video, thumbs up it and comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you next time. Mwah.